Hey, this is Marissa from Attio. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can import your CSV data into lists in Attio. We've covered importing into objects in another video. If you haven't already seen that, I recommend watching it first as it covers all of the key information about Attio's importing tool. Importing into lists is largely the same as importing into an object, but there are a few differences that we'll run through now. We recently hosted an event for Tech Week where attendees could sign up to learn more about our product. I now have the CSV of leads that I want to import into a list in Attio. Our 6 columns are the name of the person who signed up, their email address, phone number, lead source, which will be Tech Week event, the stage that that lead is in, and then any key information that's been noted. The email address is a unique attribute here. For each row in your file, Attio will look for an existing record with the value that you've provided. If a matching record exists, it will update that one, and if there's no matching record based off of this attribute, then the importer will create a new record. If you don't include a unique attribute in your file at all, Attio will create new records for every single row. There are no required attributes on the people object or on the list that I'm importing into, so I haven't needed to include those. There are specific formatting requirements for certain data types. For example, dates and timestamps need to be ISO standard, European or American format, and phone numbers must include the country code. For a full breakdown of formatting, take a look at our formatting guide in the Help Center. Importing into a list will create or update both list entries and the parent record. In this example, for my list of leads, the parent object is people, so the import will create or update the list entries for the lead list and a person record for each entry. On the left, we have the columns from your CSV, and on the right, you have Attio attributes. You need to map the columns from your CSV to the correct attribute in Attio. Because I'm importing into a list, I have access to both the parent object attributes, which is the people, and then the list attributes as well. Attio will auto map wherever possible. It's not been able to map the stage here, so I'll do this myself by clicking here and then searching for the correct attribute. I haven't actually got a summary column set up in this list yet, so I'll create that now by clicking Create New Attribute, choose Text as the data type, and then adding Summary as its title. That's all mapped now, but before moving on to the next step, I need to choose which action Attio should take if a list entry already exists for a person in this file. I can choose to update the existing list entry or add it again as a separate entry. I'm choosing to add it again as these are all new leads from our latest event and I don't want to overwrite any existing lead data. Here we can review the values in our file, and you'll notice the orange circle here, which means that values are being flagged. There's an issue with our lead source column. The source for all of these leads is Tech Week event, but as you can see here, this isn't currently an allowed value for the attribute. So if I click up here, I can now add it as an option. Now Attio can assign all of those records to that Tech Week event value. With all of this correct, I can continue with the import. Up here, you can see how many records or list entries will be created or updated. You should take a look at these numbers as well as the preview of the data that will be imported to make sure that everything looks as you expect it to. When I start the import, Attio will track progress for me. So at this point, you can navigate away from the page if you don't want to wait for the import to continue, and you can track the progress in Workspace settings under Import History. If your import or specific rows in your import failed, then you would receive a warning sign here. So if you hover over it, you'll see the error message. We have an article on our Help Center which runs through all of the different error messages and how to troubleshoot them. And here we have our updated list of Tech Week event leads. So that's an overview of how to import CSV data into a list in Attio. You can also view our full guides, including formatting and troubleshooting, in the Help Center.